about you, KB? Was it a great week for you?
Hey, it was a fantastic week, Nick. Man, let's just go ahead and put it out there. What a fantastic week for pro wrestling, from AEW all the way to TNA to Wrestlemania week. Man, this was a phenomenal week of professional wrestling, and I'm just excited about what's going to happen in the future. Great storylines came out of Mania. Great things are leading up. With AEW. So overall, fantastic pro wrestling week. Let's keep it rolling.
Yes, I did owe that. That was a fun week of wrestling. And it would have been a real fun week if I would have threw a bunch of money on our picks. Saturday nights, WrestleMania. I went undefeated. Did not have one loss, picked it. Then the second night, I lost one. But KB, he went undefeated. So if you would have threw all your money on KB's picks on Sunday night, you would have been rolling in it. You would have been like Scrooge McDuck, just swimming in the money.
That's right.
Oh, man, that was a good pick. Now, I want to counter my one I missed on Sunday. That I did pick out that Becky Lynch was coming back. So that should kind of throw me over the limit there.
Well, like I said, it was a great week,
Yeah.
and if Bailey wouldn't have got injured, we probably would have went it perfect. The
Right.
same thing with, if Rey Mysterio didn't get hurt, you would have been
Yes.
perfect. So, I mean, hey, again.
Yes, I'm not counting the ones that they had to redo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if we'd have known that, like, there's a surprise, then we would have been,
Right.
like, leaning towards those people. But overall, you nailed it on night one. I nailed it on night two. And it was just such a great, you gotta listen to us more. We know what we're talking about. That shows you right there.
Yes. All right. I want to just throw just a small shout out to AEW because I don't give them enough love. Last Wednesday was a remarkable show. Really enjoyed it. That Ospreay match was unbelievable. But really enjoyed it. But we don't have too much time to stick with AEW right now. We will jump on it hard next week. But we're going to start with, how over is Dom Mysterio?
Well, Nick, he is way over. I watched the after event, after Raw went off, and on night two, and he said, "I'm used to getting booed here," and he was getting cheered, and so it was phenomenal to watch him. Man, he is so over right now. I mean, fans are loving him. They're chanting, "You deserve it." So man, I'm telling you, Dom's worked hard. Again, you got to think he's so young, and doing what he's doing right now. He is, to me, man, he's definitely coming up the ranks, and he's getting to where that Eddie Guerrero status. He's starting to get hot, man, and fans are loving what he's doing. So remember, he couldn't even get a word in edgewise about a year ago, and look what he's done this year. I mean, just phenomenal work. Stay to the grind. I think what really helped him is when he flipped over to Liv Morgan. I think that's the defining moment, that really helped him, solidify who he was, and he stood on his own. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
He was no longer
Now,
mommy's girl or whatever.
But when he was getting that many boos, that means you're over too. They either hate you or they really like you. So, I mean, he was really hated, so he was over then, and now he's over on he's still a bad guy, but I guess he's like a gray Jedi bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely, like I said, I mean, the fans are loving what he's doing. They appreciate his work. And so, we saw that even towards the end, man, people were chanting, "You deserve it." And even last night, they were chanting, "You deserve it" on Monday Night Raw. So,
Yes.
kudos to Dom. Dom, you're doing a great job. Keep up the great work, bud.
Yes. Keep it up. It really
Dirty
is
Dom.
work. Dirty Dom. The new women's tag team champs. And what's up with Becky Lynch?
Yeah, that one kind of surprised me a lot for the champs to come back and be, champs again. They went from losing the belts to now they're back champs. And then, my brother actually texted me last night and said, Becky's about to turn. And I was like, oh, no, man, it's this early. I'm not sure. And sure enough, man, I was like, oh, my word. She turned, and, it's phenomenal. So I think it's great. I think what she's doing is great. Great work there. And so Becky the heel. No matter if Becky's the heel or she's the favorite, she knows how to work that, fan base as well. But
yes.
I thought that was really good. I like that it sets up with her singles run because I didn't really know how that was going to work anyway. So now I'm liking that she's going to have her own singles run, and I think she goes after Lyra, after that title. Because Lyra Valkyria right now, man, she's one of the hottest wrestlers, and I think Becky's jealous of her. I think that's what, I think that's what she's after. She's after that gold, and she's after, because she wants to be the only Irish woman around. Think about that.
Right.
She don't want to do that, so.
And my dog is raising all kinds of cane right now. Yeah, I agree with you. Becky, which she was actually getting cheers last night after the third, what they call her finisher there. It's like the rock bottom, but it's the.
Yeah, I can't remember right off the top of my head.
I don't remember what the finisher, what she calls it, but after about the third rock bottom, they started cheering her in the crowd. So. But
they kept on saying one more time, you
right.
know, so that's how you know Becky's over no matter what she does.
Yeah. Okay, how great was that three-way women's championship match at Mania? I'll start this one off. That was a phenomenal match. That was one of the matches that could have been the main event for Sunday, because I liked it a lot better than the finish of the main event. But what do you think about it?
Yeah, I thought the three-way match, was phenomenal. I thought that this was, better than I expected, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, when there's a title involved, it's like, but to me, those girls put on the show. It was phenomenal. You didn't know who was going to win. It's very exciting. And that's what I loved about, this right here. Io Sky really showed up and doing her crazy, all this, man. It was just entertaining from start to finish. So I love this three-way match, man. I thought it was a great way to kick off Mania. And I thought, night one was, some of their matches weren't good. But they started off hot on night two, and it just continued from there. So kudos to the girls, man. They really shined. They did their thing. And that's again, I like it that Io wasn't left out.
Right.
Sometimes one of them's kind of not pushed to the top, and really they were all three did a fantastic job. So the golf clap, kudos to them.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. What you think about John Cena's 17th title?
Well, I got some thoughts, Nick.
All right, sure.
So here's my thoughts, all right? So John Cena, and this is where a lot of fans have to really understand, AEW is great about putting together matches as far as matching wrestlers up, but they're not that great about storytelling. WWE may not be great at putting matches together, but they're great at storytelling right now. I mean, they have you invested, right?
Right.
And for me, WWE is telling the story with John Cena, and I think he's doing some of his best work because, again, what did he say? He said that he's here to ruin wrestling. So what better way of ruining wrestling, of having no care attitude, of taking the belt away from everybody, putting the belt, disrespecting the belt, putting it on backwards, holding it over your shoulder, it's almost like he didn't even wrestle that good because he don't care. He's here to ruin wrestling. And that's exactly what John Cena said he's doing, exactly what people said he was doing. People can't see it, but I'm telling you, he's trying to ruin it, like laughing in the ring, like, oh, I don't care, boo me, whatever. I'm not here to wrestle, good. I'm just going to throw you some AAs, call it a day, and win the way I want to. I'll unloosen the belt buckle, but again, I think that that was a stellar performance. A lot of people didn't like it, but I'm here to tell you, if you really think about what John Cena's doing, he's here to ruin wrestling, and he's there to ruin it for you and the fans. Because, again, the fans are so fickle. He's telling the truth because, look, they're cheering for Becky when they shouldn't. They're cheering for Dom when they shouldn't be cheering for the bad guy. So this makes no sense, and this is what John Cena is showing the world, that these fans are fickle, fair-weather fans, and he's taking the belt, and he's going home with it.
Yes. I understand that. I wish they would have went about it a different way. Because, we're still looking for The Rock. He couldn't show up. Sent Travis Scott out there. That was a waste of 30 seconds of my life.
Yeah, but again, it's somebody who is just ruining it for you. And the way that he won it, he ruined it for fans, and that's what he wants to do. You don't need The Rock.
Yes.
You don't need The Rock to ruin it for you. You need somebody like Travis Scott come down there, some guy that doesn't even have to do with wrestling, and he's using those people to really ruin wrestling for you. He's going to continue this role. He's going to continue to, like, even when he faces Randy down the road, he's going to, I'm telling you, it's not going to, don't expect much showmanship from John Cena. If you look at him, he's like, he doesn't care. He don't care, and that's what.
And I don't mind that. I don't mind that. The only thing I'm having a problem with WWE on this, they could have waited to turn him heel at Mania and let, like, that storyline with Cody's like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough to win straight up with Cody, just like, I want to try, the good John Cena guy, then at Mania, turn him heel. And I think it would have got a bigger...
Listen, I know what you're saying, but remember, WWE is good at this. They're good at storytelling. They're good at the long game. We're going to see this play out in December, when he said he's going to take his ball and go home, So whether he actually wins it or loses it, either way, he said he's done. This is it. And he's telling the truth.
He's going to turn babyface before December, though.
And he may. But the thing about it is, like, it's this non-caring, nonchalant, I could care less, and he'll do it any way he needs to. Again, people are so upset that he's heel, but what did Ric Flair do? The dirtiest player in the game did what needed to be done, and that's what John Cena did.
Oh yeah, I don't have any problem with him turning heel. I wish he would have been even meaner out there, but or even dirtier, But hey, I didn't care for how that ended. That's just my view of it, and I think that's a bunch of people's views. But hey, I do like. I'm gonna let it play out and see where it goes, though, because I didn't like it, but I'm not just hating it, though. So.
Well, I think fans need to give it some time, see where it goes, because again, his whole mission right now is to ruin wrestling, and that finish ruined it for a lot of people, right? So he did his job. He did his job.
All right. The thing I'm enjoying about WWE on this storyline is Seth, Paul Heyman, and now Bron Breakker. I really enjoyed that segment last night, and I really enjoyed Saturday night's main event. So, what do you think about this new alliance with Seth, Paul, and Braun?
Well, Nick, I'll tell you this much. You'd have to go back to 1987. I did my research. You'd have to go back to 1987 when Paul Heyman actually had a faction, right? Usually he has one guy and one guy only. It's kind of like the dark side. There's one, there's one Sith, at a time, and his apprentice, right? Yeah. So usually that's the way, Paul has been. However, we talked about the possibility of Braun, being a Paul Heyman guy, and boom, last night happened. Phenomenal. I love to see it because it's fresh, it's unexpected, and I believe more people are going to join in that. And hence, you were talking about Becky Lynch earlier. What's up with her? What if she becomes a Paul Heyman guy? Because her husband is a Paul Heyman person. So why not add a woman to it, man? I mean, Paul could be building a team that could get to Survivor Series, and we could see several of his faction people versus, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy, those five could be back in the Survivor Series facing Paul Heyman's faction. So, I'm here for it. Again, I haven't heard anything, but I'm telling you, this is where this could lead, and I think we're going to see more Paul Heyman people on board. And if it is, I'm here for it because it's entertaining, Nick. That to me last night was like, because Raw last night was like, it wasn't that great, right? But that last night, that ending, give me more of that. I'll watch that all night, man. Put that on for 30 minutes, and I'll be glued to the TV. It was that good. It was good cinema.
Yes, I agree with you. All right, looks like we're finished up here. Do we have any old school Friday this Friday?
Hey, you know who we're going to be talking about this Friday? We're going to be talking about one of the greatest of all times. We're going to be talking about...
hold on. Let me guess. No.
Go ahead. All right.
Talking about Eugene.
No. We're talking about Ric Flair, man. The 16-time world champion. And, he even made a tweet about Cena. He said it was going to happen sooner or later. So he gave him a big congrats. He said it was a great match. And I think Flair kind of understands more of the storyline than we do as a wrestler. So he gave him his flowers, and I like that. So, again, Ric Flair already said John Cena is nowhere close to the actual number. Right. So, for them to say he surpassed, and he doesn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, John Cena is the greatest WWE champion. And Ric Flair's the greatest of all time. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, that's the way I kind of look at it too. Because again, Cena's always been WWE. Ric Flair's wrestled all over the world, man.
Ric Flair was a territory champion.
Yes.
So that's around the world, and hey, that's Ric's the greatest. John Cena is the greatest WWE champion. So
that's right, and we'll talk about him. Ric Flair up on the old school podcast, Friday. So tune into that. It's going to be amazing.
All right. Before we get out of here, if you don't mind, if you like what you heard, click that like button, the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and leave some comments. Hey, KB gets bored some days, and he needs some comments to talk about. So make sure y'all leave some comments for me or KB, and we will see y'all next time. Out of here.